Android. पर्दे बंद करो रंजीत वो Yes, so hello, I guess that all of you can listen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Ranjit, here I need to see the students. How can I see? Because here I'm seeing the. This is okay. And this has to go maybe over here. And yes. Do we require this? A little more light, but this is okay. Okay, so we are having. So once again, I request all of you to please raise your hand if you are crediting the course. If you are crediting, please raise your hand. Okay. So we have got enough. If it is maybe 3, 4, 4 for 8 or so, fine. So I request all of you that if you are crediting, register it on OAS or whatever, and if it's a slot clash or something, I will talk to OAS to make it slot free so that you all can register. The other thing is that as in the yesterday's or maybe the previous lecture, we have said that what I've said that yeah, so if you are in second year, it's not that advisable that exactly you take the course, but if you have enough prerequisites, you can take the course. Then several of you are asking that should I take the course, should I not? That's actually your it's going to be your if I say decision that whether you wanted to take it or not. For me, it is completely that the basic point is that if you are okay and open to understand the concepts on your own, and what are those concepts? Those concepts are which pen? Let me check. So if you're okay and open with can we see? No. Which pen? Yes. Okay, this is visible. Which one is okay? First one, second one, third one?
So second one.
This is okay. Yellow. Fine. So if you are okay with fully connected, then CNNs, then RNN, then RNN includes LSTM, GRUs, variational autoencoders and autoencoders, and then GARs. So the point is, all these things are designed, or one can say assumed as a prerequisite, not the exact or the hard prerequisite, because everything is not going to require all of them, but these can at least these can be seen as the basic building elements, and both of them are two different types of architecture. And along with that, there are so many other types of architecture like graph neural networks, maybe like more teacher consumer, a teacher produce, what's that, teacher and a student network, and maybe RL algorithms and so on. So they are going to utilize these things. They may be having a GAN based network. So RL may also have a GAN based network. RL may also have a graph neural network, may also have a GAN type of network, variational autoencoder type of network. But uh, it is well understood that these things need to be somehow covered in our CS671, a deep learning course. So those who are doing deep learning course, if you are interested to do that deep learning course, if you are interested to do even this course, it's actually being expected from you that please cover up these things. But what we are going to do is good news, that weekends, maybe good or bad, I don't know, it depends upon you. Weekends, my TAs are going to give you a short crash course / intro to all of them, one by one, and via coding. So Ranjit, you all know Ranjit will be covering things maybe in TensorFlow, PyTorch, whatever, it depends. But he usually work in PyTorch, but it depends upon the audience and the material that he is going to cover. And Ranjit, along with Ranjit, Daksh will be there, and they both are, somehow try to maybe cover, maybe touch several of them one by one via code, try to explain the theory, and they make you comfortable with the topic. That's first thing. But essentially make you break your initial inertia so as to understand these concepts from my available YouTube lectures. But if I say that you are saying to me that, sir, I know about GAN, my understanding is that you understand that GANs are actually trying to minimize the JSD between the real and the fake distributions. Now, to understand that, it requires at least 7 to 8 lectures that I have covered. Maybe 5 hours or 6 hours lecture series is publicly available for GAN, similarly for VAE, similarly for RNN, CNN, and FCs. So they will give you these content one by one. If you are really interested, go on YouTube, write deep learning at IIT Mandi. क्या लिखेंगे? Deep learning at IIT Mandi. You are going to get the YouTube channel, and in that YouTube channel, you are going to see many playlists. Even transformer playlist is also there. So you just start listening to them, understanding, making notes and everything. They will go weekend by weekend. Maybe in one weekend FC and CNN they will cover, maybe next weekend they may cover RNN, then next weekend BAE, and then maybe GAN. So in a month or so, in the back end, it is going to happen. Now please, those who are really interested to do this course, this is the additional exercise that we are taking. It is just for you, and it's your responsibility to attend these sessions so as to get yourself eligible to understand all those things. And these sessions are on Saturdays and Sundays. Daksh is going to share the schedule. Ideally, each and every student, either crediting or auditing, need to attend it. Yeah, is there any question? need to attend. Yes. No questions. Yes. Um, yes. Then the other thing is that so yes, add. Now the other thing is that my plan is to maybe on Monday and Thursdays from 3 to maybe 4:30. Yes. So if I take these two slots, Mondays and Thursdays, 3 to 4:30, 3 to 4:30, only two classes, 1.5 hours. Maybe it is 50-50, which is two lectures, which is like 50 plus 50. How much it is? 100 minutes. Yeah. So maybe in a week, I need to take how much? 150 minutes. I may be taking 150, 160, maybe 70, something like this. But if it is, say, 3 to 4:30, 2 days, how many of you are okay? Raise your hand with this setting. Good. I assume that most of you are ready. Is there anyone who is having any problem with this slot?
Yes, sir. On Thursdays, actually 3 to 5, there is a lab for me.
Okay. Wednesday, can you tell? Yeah, Wednesday. Is there anyone who is having any problem? Times remains to be the same, 3 to maybe 4:30.
No, sir, I
Yes,
am having class on Wednesday, 4 to 5.
4 to 5. Friday, same time. And I request that if you are not a creditor and if you are just listening to these lectures and about to drop the course, please don't contribute here. If you are 100% sure you are going to attend these classes, it's very important and that's your responsibility to attend the lectures. You are really very interested. गलती भी कर दी मैंने. Monday I have my own lab. Monday I have my own lab. My lab on Monday is from our system practicum. Is there anyone who has not taken my course system practicum? आपने नहीं लिया हुआ है. Okay, so let me rephrase it. I'm going to rewrite. सभी लोग ध्यान से देखें ये टाइम स्लॉट को और later we will converge over mail. Tuesday and Friday. Three to 4:30. Now tell me. Tuesday and Friday. Monday, my own lab. Yes. Yes, Tuesday and Friday. Sir.
Sir, there is a lab on Tuesday.
Tuesday, you also have a lab.
Yes, sir.
Which lab? Can you tell me? Tuesday, which lab you have?
Sir, POP, sir. Paradigms of programming.
And Monday you are having my lab, Priyanshu?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, system testing.
System. हाँ बोलो, बोलिए बोलिए. नो. क्या कह रहे थे, मुझे आवाज नहीं आई. राइटिंग ऑन चैट में बी राइट नाउ बिकॉज मैं कंप्यूटर से दूर हूं. यू कैन डायरेक्टली यूज चैट को. अब ना यूज करें. आई मे नॉट बी एबल टू सी इट. will will Thursday and Friday work? Thursday and Friday.
We are also fine with Thursday and Friday.
But Thursday somebody was saying he is having some lab or class. Lab.
Sir, it's my core course lab. The-
It's a lab. First of all, Tuesday is okay.
No,
It's a
sir.
POP, sir.
Acha, sorry, Tuesday nahi, sorry. Friday is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone having objection on Friday?
Sir, my lab is there. Computer organization.
हर तरह के तो बच्चे हैं इसमें. बीटेक,
सर
एमटेक.
इवनिंग में रख ले क्या?
यस.
इवनिंग में रख ले क्या सर?
अरे इवनिंग में इशू आता है बेटा. आप ही लोग कंप्लेन कराओगे जाके. मैं टीटी खेलता हूँ, मैं खेलने जाता हूँ, ये दिन भर पढ़ाते हैं. मेरे को मना किया गया है इवनिंग में. स्पेशली I've got this instruction that you cannot hold your classes in the evening. Students keep on complaining, so I cannot do that. Evening is not possible. So now that is the problem, to change the things from the slot. Acha, tell me that if I take whatever is there in my slot, D slot, who is having problem? If I take things in my D slot, who is having issue?
Sir, me, sir. It is clashing with
Me too,
POP.
sir. POP. All CSC people have to take POP.
अच्छा, एक काम करते हैं, इसको यहीं छोड़ देते हैं हम फिलहाल के लिए. आई एम गोइंग टू लीव इट. व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज, दक्ष क्या करेगा, कोई एक स्लॉट बनाएगा. मतलब एक कोई गूगल का कुछ बनाएंगे और उसमें टाइम स्लॉट्स देंगे. लोग सेलेक्ट करेंगे और जो भी टाइम स्लॉट सूट करता है वो लेंगे. और रिमेंबर, इफ आई डोंट गेट अ प्रॉपर टाइम स्लॉट, मैं डी में पढ़ाऊंगा. अगर आपको आपका क्लैश होता है तो फिर आप कैसे ले पाओगे? That is the issue, because in my classes usually, I mean, these optional, all type of students are available. और बीटेक सेकंड ईयर को, थर्ड ईयर को लेने में यही सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है कि उनके 36 तरह की चीजें रहती हैं. एंड इट इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू चेंज दिस टाइम स्लॉट. और although you can see that I am trying, but I'm not getting, so I cannot waste more time of our class. Anyways, मैं आज I'm not going to do too many things. Yes, so Daksh is going to share something on your via mail. Please respond to it and let us figure out the best possible time slot via email. Okay, so let's going to start, and we are not going to start with the loss functions because several things are required. Maybe I am switching to directly to a new paradigm of machine learning. So before going to start that, let us understand that if I have a person, this is some student. So this student is having infinite amount of information. Infinite amount of information. What is that? What is your name? What is your father's name? What's your, are you male? Are you female? Your demography, your high school percentage, your 12th percentage, or these, so many different types of things. For any student, we have infinite amount of information. If we have this much amount of information, so I keep on asking questions to you, and then whatever your responses, your answers, I will keep on having over here, keep on saving. Now this can actually be seen as a feature vector. So what is your name? What is your class? What is your age, demography, this, everything is written over here. And then I have like this, I am having many such samples, many persons. And for all of them, I have got this type of feature vector. So your data is this: student 1, student 2, student 3, maybe student n, capital N, this many number of students. And when I ask, I am going to get some values over here, and assuming that they are maybe some single dimensional values, then your feature, if I ask D such questions, your feature vector will actually be a D dimensional vector. So I've got a D dimensional vector. So this is my first D dimensional vector. This is my second D dimensional vector. This is for student number 1 and the features number. So if I say this is feature number 1 coming from the student number 1, student number 2, student number 3, 4, and student number n. So individual, these things are actually coming from a D-dimensional space. Now if I take all of them and have some model M, I have some model M, which is going to take all this data of n subjects, D-dimensional features, one by one, fed to my machine M, whatever the model, it is going to do either it can do regression or it can do classification. Which means I'm having a model which is going to take huge amount of data. What are these? What is this data? D-dimensional vectors. And these D-dimensional vectors being fed one by one to my model, and this model is going to learn maybe some function it is actually trying to learn. Some function it's learning. I'm saying some f. So this is like my x which is going in one by one. What is this x? X is actually coming from a D-dimensional subspace, D-dimensional space, and model is learning some f being written as theta, being parameterized over theta. So this f that we are going to learn is being parameterized over theta, it's going to get an x. And that is some y that you are getting. Essentially, this is y, and either it can do regression or it can do classification. Very simple, very easy, everyone can understand. The point is, this model can be anything. And in machine learning, there are so many different types of models, like support vector machine, Bayesian classification, random forest. Then there is Gaussian mixture models. Then there are hidden Markov models. So many things. Too much, I mean, more than this. There is one specific model which is called as neural network, which can also be utilized so as to get these theta. We are interested to get that set of theta, which we somehow learn in some way, so that whenever it's going to get an x, theta you know. So basically you know this function, and you are going to get a y. Now y can actually be trained as a regression problem or a classification problem. And what is regression or classification? So if it is a classification, you can see that all these students that we have shown, to which we have asked the questions, because of which we get a d-dimensional response for all of them. There were two categories of these students, one which is yellow, other one is red. And yellow got accepted, their application got accepted. Red, their application got rejected. That is the ground truth. And we try to learn our model, this function. Via this model, we wanted to learn this function f, which is being parameterized over this theta, going to get an x, going to give me a y, and y will actually be a label that whether it is rejected or accepted. So y is going to give me a probability that with this probability you are going to be accepted. 1 minus of that you are going to be rejected. So if you train your network like this, it's going to be seen as a classification problem. But it can also be the case that for each of them I have got a value associated, that if they give, I have given them an exam, a written test, and this guy has got 77%, this guy has got 22%, this guy has got 71%, this has got 78%, this has got 29%, and so on. So all of them have got certain numbers, and we know that. But now when you train your model so as to get this theta, whenever you have seen this x, you are going to get a y, but this time this y is not going to be the label. This y need to be what is the number that they are going to get. Either they are going to get 22, 78, 77, whatever, depending upon whatever is the number. What's your feature? Depending upon that feature, I want my network to predict not your class, but the number of, but basically your percentage in that exam. And if that is the case, we are posing this problem as a regression problem. So same problem or two different types of problem, but actually the point that they are trying to do is that trying to come up with the theta, which will somehow try to minimize some loss function. In the case of classification, the loss function is that whenever it is green, it has to be 1, else it has to be 0. And in the case of regression problem, whenever you give me a data, I need to tell either you are going to get 71, 72 or whatever, or you are going to get 27, 28 or whatever. Now the question is, what type of loss we require maybe in the case of regression and in the case of classification? Who is going to tell this? Wait, I am going to ask someone. So maybe for regression and for classification, Dipali nahi hai. Dipali called so many times that I'm going to join. Deepti, you need to tell. Deepti Singh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Deepti Singh, you are in which year?
Sir, final year.
Final year, good. Deepti Singh, you tell me for regression type of function, what type of loss you want?
Sir, I can use mean square error for that.
And for classification,
So for classification, I can use cross entropy.
cross entropy. ठीक है. Balkar Singh. Balkar Singh.
Yes, sir.
For classification, this cross entropy, what does this mean?
Not sure, sir.
So have you done any formal course on deep learning? Yes, no.
No, sir.
Which year?
4th year, sir.
And you wanted to, and you are going to audit or credit?
Credit, sir.
Credit, then you need to do all these things formally first, okay?
Yes, sir.
So Balkar, understand that that this is you, this is Balkar. I asked D questions. Balkar has given me D answer. This is a D-dimensional vector. When this D-dimensional vector go into my model, Balkar is going to get 2 values. Okay, 2 values. What
Yes,
are they? This is my Y vector. This is Y1. This is Y2. There is a corresponding ground truth G, which is G1. This is G2. What is Y1 and Y2? They are the probability by which my network is going to predict that Balkar is going to maybe credit, maybe going to credit the course or audit the course. Not credit the course. Yes. Are you going to edit, credit or not crediting the course? So Y1 and Y2. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And there is a ground truth because I know that Balkar, because I have this data already, right? So I know what's the ground truth that Balkar has credited or audit, not credited, credited or not credited. So if this is that so this is crediting and not crediting. And actual ground truth that you are crediting, you are not crediting. So 1, 0, you understand this is, if your ground truth is 1, 0, what does it mean, Balkar?
That I'm crediting, sir.
That you are crediting. And my network is going to say that with 0.3 and 0.7. Is my network performing fine?
No, sir.
Then what can you do to understand what is the loss? So as said by Deepti, I can see 0.3 minus 1 whole square plus 0.7 minus 0 whole square, and can do this. Balkar, don't you think that it will also work?
Sir, this is for calculating the loss.
If I say that this is my loss, is there any objection? Because this is essentially telling you, acha, what is physical significance of this thing, Balkar? What is the physical significance of this thing?
Sir, we are taking the root mean square of the error.
हाँ, लेकिन physical significance ये नहीं है, but root mean square of the error we are doing. But physical significance is this, that this is 1, 0, and this is say 0.3, 0.7. Now your network need to be over here, but it is here. Understood in 2D space.
Yes, sir. Calculating the distance.
You are calculating the distance, and I can minimize this distance. Don't you think that this is also a okay strategy? What we want is a theta which can minimize this. So this will take you from here to here. If you train your network to minimize this loss, slowly your theta will be trained in such a way so that this tend to this and this tend to this. What is the problem?
Sir, it looks fine.
It looks fine. That's true. And that is the first observation everyone need to make. Deepti, is that okay? You understood the question?
So it is okay in this case, but in classification, we don't usually have easily like number representations of the classes maybe. So using this method can cause error in that.
चलो तो दीप्ति का आंसर कौन देगा? दीप्ति ने जो बोला उसका आंसर कौन देगा?
Sir, actually it's work fine when we use MSc in classification, but the problem is that we always try to give better models so that I mean it's a crucial way of doing probability. These all are 0.3, 0.7. These all are probability. So we are doing the subtract and square MSc over that. So we should try to do in some probabilities only. So
देखो भाई, क्यों के ही जवाब निकालने हैं. पहले तो क्या नहीं, ये बहुत सिंपल सी बात है कि ये सब करो. सिग्निफिकेशन सॉरी रिग्रेशन, एमएससी, क्लासिफिकेशन, क्रॉस एंट्रोपी. हाउ वन कैन डू, वी ऑल नो. Several of you know, some of you need to see. But why is the question? And when I say why, I am saying I am going to use this. You are saying that it's a good practice. Why you are not using CE? Everyone is saying. My question is, why do I use CE? What is the problem with this? Can you tell me what is the problem? You cannot tell me exactly problem. Deepti is saying something else. Deepti started to say something else. I said that, is there anyone who can answer it directly?
Sir, for binary classification.
So once Deepti has said, once, so thank you Priyanshu, I just take your point. Once Deepti has said कि सर क्लासेस का क्लास वो नहीं होता नंबर, क्लासेस वन हॉट एनकोडेड होता है. दीप्ति, इज दैट ओके? यस, नो?
Yes, sir.
तो जब वो वन हॉट एनकोडेड होता है तो व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? एवरी टाइम इफ यू हैव 10 क्लासेस, 20 क्लासेस, 50 क्लासेस, 100 क्लासेस, यू आर गोइंग टू हैव अ वन हॉट एनकोडिंग. तो हमेशा ये चीज निकल जाएगी. And your networks are being, final layer is going to be giving you things like this, which is the output of your softmax. So हमेशा ये होगा. It's not that it's not going to happen. ये तो होगा ही होगा, मिल जाएगा ये. प्रॉब्लम इज क्यों ऐसा करते हैं? प्रियांशु, अब आप बोलो.
सर अगर हम MSc यूज करेंगे तो फिर यहाँ पे मतलब अगर हम MSc यूज करेंगे तो जो हम वेट्स मतलब जितना हम स्टोकेस्टिक ग्रेडियंट डिसेंट या फिर किसी भी एल्गोरिदम को हम बताना चाह रहे हैं कि वो कितना दूर है, तो ये अगर कम भी दूर है तो मतलब एक लीनियर उसको रिलेशनशिप देगा कि मतलब जितना दूर है उससे तू यहाँ पे ले आ. लेकिन अगर हम समथिंग लाइक क्रॉस एंट्रोपी यूज करेंगे तो अगर वो ज्यादा दूर है वो तो उसको काफी ज्यादा वेट देगा कि हाँ मतलब ये काफी ज्यादा दूर है, इसको पहले लाने की कोशिश कर. और जो कम दूर है मतलब लाइक 0.99 है और 1 है तो उसको वो बोलेगा कि ठीक है मतलब इसको अभी चला लेंगे.
हाँ, अच्छा जवाब है. और ये मेरे ख्याल से आप पुरानी क्लास अटेंड, दैट इज द थिंग दैट इफ यू हैव attended our previous lectures or being a second year student, if you audit something religiously, you may be better equipped for upcoming lectures whenever you are going to credit it. But similar to this, it's not the, you have given the answer, but why, uske liye kuch mathematical points hain that can be seen. But the point is कि why का आंसर अगली क्लास में लोग निकाल के लाएं, आप पढ़ें. So we are going to upload certain things for you and try to keep on reading this stuff, because loss functions we are not going to start directly. ठीक है, डायरेक्ट हम अभी लॉस फंक्शन नहीं पढ़ा रहे. लॉस फंक्शंस आर देयर आर at least 10 different loss functions that we need to somehow understand at some point of time. We will come on to it maybe at some point of time. But I have not given you the answer. Priyanshu has given you the answer, but why that is the case, you need to see. But believe me, even for classification, this will work. It will not work optimally. Or if I say CE will work far better than this. And what is this CE? CE is just for Balkar. CE is y1 minus of y1 log of g1 minus of y2 log of g2 addition, and that is the loss. This is called as cross entropy. Balkar, understood what is CE?
Yes, sir.
This is the basic formula for CE, very simple, -1 and this, that's actually the cross entropy. Why you need to read, and I suggest all of you to read, why do we require for regression CE, sorry, for regression MSE, and then this for C. But by the way, coming back on to my previous thing, my previous thing is, yes, so here I know the ground truth. If I know the ground truth, no ground truth. So if I know what is the actual ground truth, what does that mean? It means that even if you are doing regression, I know that what is the number that you are going to get. If it is classification, I know your actual class. If that is the case, this type of learning paradigm is called as supervised learning. Now, yes, so now it may be that this is my data. Within this data, I'm not plotting it as d-dimensional, but basically this is my 1D dimensional point, second point, third point, fourth point. Now I don't know what is the class of them. I don't know the class. I don't know the class. You also don't know the class. What are they? I have asked do you like Indian web series? ना ये Netflix पे है ना, मिर्जापुर और भी उल्टी सीधी जो भी हैं. And then their answer, I don't know what is the class. Class क्या है? Please don't get offended, huh? So suppose that this is our BTech students. This may be our PG. Okay, yes. So that, okay. They may be our PG students. And this is maybe faculty. So in that high dimensional, d-dimensional space, I don't know whether this answer was being given by a BTech student, PG student, or a faculty member. But I've got those answers. If I project them in that space, I can see group 1, group 2, group 3. I can do clustering. Or I can learn the distribution, probability distribution of PG student, probability distribution of UG, and probability distribution of faculty members. I can learn these 3 things. I can do clustering, I can learn this distribution. So if you do clustering, k-mean types of clustering, that is actually being there. If you learn these distribution, this is actually being done using GAN type of techniques. They actually try to learn this type of distribution from which the data is actually coming. But one thing that you can see that we do not know what is the level of this. That is why it is called as the unsupervised learning. Our time is anyways up. I'm only going to take 2 to 3 more minutes. So this you are anyways going to see in the whole literature of AI/ML and deep learning, and whatever we have covered so far in our traditional deep learning course, CS671, CNN, RNN, AAA, BAE, GAN, सब कुछ मिला लें, then it's going to be supervised or unsupervised. But there is a third strategy. I just first tell you what is that strategy, and that is learning by exploration. So suppose that, let me take an example of, say, Utkarsh Kaushik. So Utkarsh Kaushik is this. So Utkarsh Kaushik once have got a paper got accepted, and he is in Denmark, suppose that. So this is his hotel in Denmark, and this is the place where he is going to do the conferences. And somebody told me that this is the correct way to go. The Utkarsh Kaushik is there for 5 days, and every day it's very close by. So you started to walk towards it, and you reached there, and you attended first day conference and get back. Maybe while coming back, understand? Maybe while coming back, you started to follow a slightly different curve. Why? Because you wanted to explore the city. It is Denmark or some, Copenhagen, and you like the place, you want to see what is there. So even though you know what is the right direction in which you need to move, you started to follow a separate path. Then next day, he said that, oh, today I will go in this way, and then I will take this. Because I know something like this. I mean, once I have gone, I have reached like this. So can I go it in this way? Next day, you may go in this way. What you are doing? You are basically trying to explore your space. And your learning is happening with that exploration because when you are following this, you may have seen that there is a cafe over here, a cafe over here, a shopping mall over here, a good park over here, some things that you see. While coming back, you have got some more information. That is learning which is happening about the space. This is the initial state, this is the final state. And you keep on moving from your initial state to the final state. Keep on doing, but you don't have any supervision. Papa nahi hai na wahan pe. So nobody is going to say that, hey, it's already night, why you are going out? Kuch nahi. In the night you can go because you understand, I wanted to explore the space. And in that, once you go from here, you have got another sort of learning. While coming back, you followed this, and you have got certain other type of learning about the space. Now, this paradigm is learning by exploration. This paradigm is actually called as RL. So the initial paradigm is supervised learning. Then we have unsupervised learning, and then this is reinforcement learning, which is a learning by exploration. The good thing is that you do not require any ground truth at all. You do not require any supervision at all. You can just start from your place, keep on moving here and there, and humans actually most of the time learn via this RL learning strategy. So this is the strategy we are going to start from our next lecture. Every time before lecture, please check your email, and maybe Daksh is going to make a recurrent link by which you can every time keep on coming on to come to know that what's the place. So this a recurrent link will be available. Maybe during this weekend we will try to somehow manage what is going to be the proper time slot. Saturday, Daksh is going to take Saturday and Sunday. He will plan what is the way in which he want. He is going to start a crash course.
Sir, is it possible to make these course in some another slot like A, B, or EF? Like I have not problem with in these slots.
प्रशांत फिर से बोलो क्या कह रहे हो?
सर मतलब किसी और स्लॉट में रख सकते हैं इस कोर्स को?
उसके लिए क्या करेंगे ना, अभी लैब का वीकेंड, इस वीकेंड पे लैब होगी, उस वक्त दक्ष थोड़ा बहुत पूछ लेगा और फिर हम ईमेल पे एक्सचेंज कर लेते हैं. तो आप अपने आइडियाज दे सकते हैं. डेफिनेटली टुडे यू हैव गॉट अ मेल इन दैट यू कैन गिव योर आइडियाज, यू कैन गिव योर टाइम स्लॉट्स एंड वी कैन समहाउ ट्राई टू मैनेज इट. हो जाना चाहिए, बट यूजुअली सबके लैब्स वगैरह होती है, देन दैट्स द थिंग दैट वी नीड टू चेक. ठीक है, टाइम हो गया है तो हम लोग इसीलिए बस मेल पे देख लेंगे. और सैटरडे दक्ष आपको एक लिंक भेजेगा, उसमें सभी लोग जरूर कनेक्ट हो. प्लीज गेट योरसेल्फ कनेक्टेड. एक मिनट रुकना. हाँ, एनीवन हु इज हैविंग एनी क्वेश्चन, एनी डाउट?
Yes, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Okay, sir. So, is there any way where UK can have no explore? UK is not going to explore anymore. So, does it happen? I mean, here, learning by exploration.
लर्निंग बाय एक्सेलरेशन में हो सकता है ना. ये टीवी में आवाज थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ कर रही है, आप एक बार फिर से थोड़ा जोर से बोलेंगे.
Okay, yes, sir. Sir, it can may it happen that the UK will not explore anymore. So in RL, just in last example, okay.
तो आप ये कहना चाहते हैं कि आरएल के एग्जाम्पल में आप कुछ पूछ रहे हैं, आप थोड़ी आवाज में. यूके इज व्हाट? अच्छा, यूके इज उत्कर्ष.
No, sir. No, sir. My question is that can it happen that UK is going again in the same path? And
it may happen. Yeah, it may happen. Okay, so this is called as trajectory number 1, trajectory number 2, trajectory number 3, trajectory number 4. Several trajectories may keep on repeating, but understand if it's a long trajectory and these transitions are going to have certain probability by which you are moving from maybe one state to another state. So exactly follow the same trajectory, it is very difficult. Certain trajectory areas may be overlapping, but even if it's the case, then it's not a big issue.
So, sir, the question is, sir, the question is that if UK is going in the same path, then he will going to explore before. I mean, suppose he was exploring. I mean, he saw 10 objects and he is going again on that path. So he may get 20 objects on that path. So the accuracy of RL will increase or should remain.
Of course, same thing is going to happen, that if you follow the same path again and again, you keep on reinforcing your learning. Keep on reinforcing your learning that, okay, next time, because you are aware that now there is a coffee shop, maybe after that you are going to observe something else. So you started to get more and more in between learning which is going to happen. So it's not that if you keep on following the same thing, you are not learning. Exploration is anyways going to happen at each and every state. Yeah, so RL will take it also into the account.
So
बोलो, आवाज चली गई है. और कोमल, फिर से कोमल कुमार.
So, sir, but in more than one time, then yes, sir. Sir, what will happen in machine learning model if we give the same input in more than 10 times? So it actually the accuracy will increase in machine learning model. So it will happen in RL also. So
अभी इसके लिए अगर मैं आपको बताऊं ना, तो अभी आप एक बार पहले फ्रेमवर्क को समझे, बिकॉज इट इज इवन इफ यू फॉलो द सेम पाथ, इनपुट विल नॉट बी एग्जैक्टली सेम. इवन इफ यू फॉलो, दैट इज द केस ऑफ RL. आप खुद ही सोचो ना, अगर आप यहां से अपने घर एक बार जाते थे, पहली बार जब गए थे, और जब 5वीं बार गए, और जब 25वीं बार गए, तो आपने क्या क्या नई नई चीजें देखी. सो कीप ऑन चेंजिंग, इवन इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग द सेम पाथ, मोर एंड मोर ऑब्जर्वेशंस आर कीप ऑन कमिंग.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, one more.
पूछो.
Yes, sir. One more thing. So actually, MSc try to approximate the predicted class to, I mean, to the target class. So which is equivalent to say in that we are trying to approximate the probability of predicted to the target. So based on some features, which is information content. So information content always inversely proportional to the probability of happening that event. So maybe this is the one good way to do this. So when we try to solve the information content, which is inversely proportional to the probability of event having that event. So after that, we can take the algorithm over that, and we will end up with the cross entropy, and which gives further cross entropy. Some doing mathematical calculation. So this is how this is one good way other than MSc.
अच्छा बताया. देखो एक्चुअली यही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जब आप एक्सप्लोर करोगे ना, इसके कम से कम 3 जवाब हैं जो मुझे पता है, बट देयर आर इवन मोर देन दिस. सो द एक्चुअल थिंग इज दैट इफ यू ओनली यूज दिस, MSc convergence is slow, far point, near points, I mean outliers may not be proper, MSc is prone to outliers and so on. So दूसरा answer, MSc is very prone to outliers. Then the third answer is that MSc the gradients are actually dependent upon the activation function, and in the case of cross entropy, gradients are not dependent upon the activation functions. So there are so many different answers, and the layer of these answering, which initially assumed to be a very straightforward discussion, but actually it's a long one. So that's why I have said that please initiate, keep on reading. I will somehow keep on posting certain things, and from which you can actually understand. Okay, so this is also a way. ठीक है, चलिए. So we are done. Sorry, हाँ time हो गया है. Thank you. We'll meet again. Bye.